The speech. William despised his job. He had just printed out his job application for another company, reviewed it one last time with satisfaction, folded it carefully, and placed it on the kitchen table. As he did, his mobile phone began to ring. "That'll be work," he said to Joyce, his wife. "This is exactly why I want a new job." He glanced at the screen and sighed. It was his boss, Mr. Anderson. "Bad news, William," Mr. Anderson said, without preamble. "Henry is in the hospital, and we need you to give the speech tomorrow. I'm sorry for the short notice, but there's no way around it." "I see," William replied, struggling to keep his voice steady. "I know it's a lot of pressure, but you're the only one who knows the project inside out," his boss said. "I don't need to tell you how critical this is. If we lose this contract, the company's done for." "Yes, Mr. Anderson," William said, his stomach sinking. "I'll do my best." As the call ended, his face turned pale. "Are you all right?" Joyce asked, looking at him with concern. "They want me to give a speech tomorrow," he said, with a shaky voice. "I'll have to write it tonight." "But it's already past 10, Joyce said. "I know," he said, grabbing his glasses. "I feel sick just thinking about it." William had always hated public speaking. The moment he faced an audience, his mind would go blank. His palms would sweat, and dizziness would take over. The next morning, he stumbled out of bed, exhausted. "I barely slept," he told Joyce as she prepared breakfast. "Did you finish your speech?" she asked, pouring coffee. "Yes," he said, folding the 2-page document neatly and placing it on the table. "And it's pretty good. But I'm so nervous." "You'll be fine," she reassured him. "Just don't forget your reading glasses." "I can't eat anything," he said, sipping his coffee. "I don't want to throw up." "I'm heading to the supermarket later. Do you need anything?" Joyce asked, making her shopping list. Joyce has a terrible memory. "Yes, a bottle of wine," William said. "No, make it 2. Hopefully, I'll be celebrating tonight." "That's more like it," she said as she wrote it down, folded the list, and set it on the kitchen table. Moments later, William finished his coffee, grabbed his briefcase, and rushed out the door. "Don't forget your speech," Joyce called after him. But he was already gone. She glanced at the kitchen table and saw the folded pages lying there. Grabbing them, she dashed to the door and called out, "William, wait!" He turned back, frowning as she handed him the papers. "Good heavens, that would have been a disaster," he said, taking them with a weak smile. "What would I do without you?" Later that day, Joyce wheeled her trolley down a supermarket aisle. She reached into her handbag for her shopping list. Pulling it out, she unfolded the sheets of paper. But as her eyes skimmed the first few lines, her brow furrowed and her heart missed a beat. "Oh, my goodness," she whispered, her stomach turning. She held the papers close to her chest, staring blankly at the shelf in front of her. A sense of dread washed over her. She considered calling William, but it was too late. "He must have my shopping list," she thought. Meanwhile, William stood in front of the audience. His shirt was clinging to his back with sweat. His legs felt like jelly as he fumbled to take the folded sheets of paper from his pocket. Then he reached for his glasses, only to realize they weren't there. Panic surged through him as his mind went blank. "I'm so sorry," he said to Mr. Anderson. "I forgot my glasses. I can't see a thing without them." "Good heavens, man," his boss growled, holding out his hand. "Give me this speech." William handed over the folded papers. Mr. Anderson unfolded them, his face darkening as he scanned the text. "This isn't your speech," he hissed. "It's a job application." The room fell silent as the words sunk in. Mr. Anderson's face turned a deep shade of red. He cleared his throat and looked up nervously at the clients. A few stifled chuckles rippled through the room, quickly growing into quiet laughter. One of the clients leaned over to another and whispered, loudly enough to be heard, "Well, this is unexpected." Another client, unable to suppress his amusement, burst into laughter. Soon the entire room was filled with laughter. Mr. Anderson's humiliation was palpable. "Ladies and gentlemen, I assure you, this is a misunderstanding," he stammered. The clients didn't seem convinced. Some were still laughing, while others shook their heads, clearly unimpressed. William, his face red with embarrassment, wanted nothing more than to disappear. As the laughter finally subsided, one of the senior clients leaned back in his chair and said with a grin, "Well, I suppose we've seen everything now. Shall we proceed with the meeting, or is there more entertainment planned?" Mr. Anderson struggled to recover, but the damage was done. The meeting limped along with clients clearly distracted by what had just unfolded. William sat in silence, wishing he could turn back time. Thanks for watching until the end. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to leave a comment.